Welcome back. I am going to use this one, Tangerine, and I'm going to add a touch of orange over here on these yellow leaves. Just a touch of it. Today it is Sunday, and this morning we went to visit my parents-in-law and my own parents. They live close to each other, so it's easy to visit them at the same day. We haven't been visiting them much lately due to the lockdown, but the situation has improved to a level that we can visit them again. We are careful though. We keep a social distance and we sit outside in the garden or on the balcony if possible, but today that wasn't possible due to the bad weather. A lot of people are suffering from loneliness during these corona times. And although it might be safer to not visit our parents, my husband and I we decided to visit them because loneliness is a bad thing too. Let's see, I think I need a different green. This one, field green. But I must say, we try to be as careful as possible, and my mother, especially my mother, she's quite strict about the social distancing and stuff like that. She really wants to prevent herself and others to become sick, ill. And she also already had an idea for visiting when winter comes, because now it's summertime. Summer is about to start. It's June. And so in the summer months we have great opportunity to visit each other in the garden, in our garden, and my parents and the balcony of my parents-in-law. They live in an apartment, and but In wintertime that may not be possible. But my mother was already thinking about ideas on how to make it possible to meet. And one of her ideas was to place what we call a party tent in the garden, close to the house. So when the weather is not so good, we can sit dry outdoors, but in the party tent. And that may be a good idea. I don't think this field green is the final color because it doesn't match completely, so I will layer more tones. I can see that I put some color here and I forgot to add water, so let's do that right now. I think this was an indigo color, dark blue. I've been looking at the pictures of the toucans, and many of them also have quite a lot of black in their feathers, and I'm going to add a touch of black as well. Especially their wings are black, so I'm going to add some black. Only as a first layer. This is ink black. Okay, not bad. Okay, the wings have dried, so now I'm going to add deep indigo. I think it's raining. Yeah. And our neighbors are sitting outdoors with a umbrella. I can see that from the window here. So it looks like they have visitors that they don't want to invite in the house, and that, I believe, has everything to do with the corona thing, I think. Anyway, okay. I spoiled a little bit here. Can I? Oh, dear, dear, dear. Yeah. Okay. The last couple of weeks I have had a lot of very nice comments from you. A lot of advice and tips and tricks for my migraine attacks. Thank you for your ideas. This is leaf green. I really appreciate you wanting me to get better. It's really nice of you. Many of you told me about the Botox treatment, and here in the Netherlands there is a Botox treatment for migraines, but I'm not sure how easy it will be to get it done. So far my neurologist hasn't spoken about it, so I'll look into that. But there There was an article in a newspaper here, I believe it was last week, about a migraine patient who was even worse than I am. She had really frequent migraine attacks, and nothing worked. So eventually she decided to act herself, and she took a holistic approach, body and mind. She started with changing her diets. Oh yeah. And she started doing meditation, stuff like that. And her situation improved. And I have a protocol, a migraine protocol from Germany. I've already printed it. And that is a holistic approach as well. It comes from a German television show called Ernährungsdocs. Food doctors. And they treat patients with all sorts of diseases by changing their diets, getting rid of the junk and just eat healthy foods. And I have a feeling that is the way to go for me. That German protocol is very strict, it's difficult. It also has some advice for other lifestyle things, like do not take your phone or iPad upstairs when you go to bed. And I am taking my iPad and phone upstairs when I go to bed. I know that's not good, all that blue light, but I do it anyway. And there's a lot more advice, so I think I should try that. Because I am now convinced that medicine, drugs are not going to do the trick for me. I just don't believe it. I've tried several medications and none of them have worked. They worked for a while and then they stopped working. Here I have a bark, dark brown. I'm going to add that to the wings as well, because I do not want a flat looking black tone. So there's now black and blue and now brown. Look at that. That looks very interesting. I hope you can see that. Very nice. Let's do the other side. Yeah. If you are having trouble with your health, chronic disease, and you speak German, then go to YouTube and watch that series from the television. The broadcaster is called NDR. Norddeutsche Rundfunke, I believe Northern German Broadcasting. And they have quite a lot of episodes of that show in which they treat not only migraine patients but arthritis, heart disease, high blood pressure, all sorts of diseases that have something to do with infection, with inflammation. And it's really interesting to see how people improve by getting rid of the junk food and start eating healthy stuff like vegetables. It sounds so easy, and the thing is, it's not. Okay. The head of the bird, I am going to make that black as well. A couple of years ago I did the juicing. I juiced for 1 week only vegetable and fruit juice, and that has helped me a lot back then. But you know how things go. It went well for months and months. I was eating very healthily, and then our juicer broke down. We were having juices every day. I had them twice a day, and I ate a lot of vegetables and healthy food. And that juicer broke down, and then things started to deteriorate. Then eventually we got another juicer, but for some reason it was very difficult to get back on the wagon again, and I haven't been on that wagon since that juicer broke down. Although we are juicing a couple of times a week, but that's just not enough. I need to have those healthy foods every day, several times a day. So part of the plan is to kickstart everything, the German protocol, with juicing. Although juicing is not in the German program, but I think it's a great way to kickstart everything. And then to start that German protocol. I really, really hope I'm going to do it. Well, we need to wait a while. Now I have to think about this area. What color should I give it? I'm just not sure. Let's look at this area first, because I think this needs a little bit more of this fuchsia. A little bit of fuchsia over here. Well. That looks good. These flowers, I believe, need a touch of warmth. Let's try yellow. It's a bit of a sun yellow. It's a bit of a... It's a gamble. Let's try it. Yeah, I think this is better, and now I can start building the darker tones. But this needs to dry first, so I'll let things dry and then I'll come back to it later. But this is, yeah, I like this project. Well, okay, I'll be back. Welcome back to this beautiful drawing from Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford. And as you can see, I have done some work. I've done some work on this flower and this one, and on the leaves, and also on the toucan. But let's start with this flower. I'm going to do the same to this one, so you can see what exactly I've been doing. Let's adjust the camera a little bit more. I think that's better. Okay, so what I have done is just adding more layers of color. And let's start with this color, Poppy Red. I'll just add a touch of this color here and there. Not too much, I'm just layering. I love layering. It takes some time, but it helps you to slowly build the colors. It's a lot easier. Here is my tissue. I'm trying to activate all of the pigment. I've been doing some painting on this drawing yesterday evening, and yesterday evening it was Tuesday night, and that is choir night. That is the evening that we normally rehearse with the choir, but because of the virus situation we do not go to choir rehearsals. Nobody does. So far it seems to be dangerous to sing, actually, to sing together. So we are having our rehearsals online, and I can tell you that is not the same. And actually, because there is hardly any interaction, there's no interaction with the other choir members while you see each other. But you don't hear each other, you cannot sing together and hear each other, so you only hear your own voice and the voice of the conductor, and that's it. And it is a little, because of that, it is a little bit boring, but I found something. I found a way to deal with being bored. Let's see, is it dry? Yeah. Let's pick another color. This is Shiraz. No, this is not the one. Is this the one? I don't think so. Oh dear. I cannot remember which one I used. Well, let's try Shiraz. Anyway, I found a way to get rid of the boredom with these online rehearsals, and that is coloring. Because when you color, I can listen. I love listening to audiobooks, for example, when I color or paint. So I can concentrate, and in the meantime I color, and I enjoy myself. So yeah, that works, and I have my sheet music next to me, so as soon as the this is the poppy red again, as soon as the conductor has finished explaining what he wants us to do, I pick up the sheet music and I start singing. I heard everything what he said. Life is starting up a little bit more here in the Netherlands, and we are slowly starting to visit more and more people again, friends and family. And I must admit that the quietness of the first weeks of lockdown, I actually enjoyed them a lot. Just being at home, quiet. There was silence outdoors in the streets, hardly any cars. Those times are over now. There's no silence outdoors anymore here. But I really, really enjoy that. I knew that back then, and I know it even more right now that is gone again. And I also just loved cocooning with my husband for a while, although eventually I wanted to get out also, but I really, really liked that. And it gives me confidence that if a second wave of the virus hits, I can handle this. I can stay home and just enjoy myself. And I must say, teaching singing via the internet is working out better and better, so that helps also. I'm okay, I'm fine. Let's take a look at these leaves. I like that they are so bright, but they need a little bit of shading. Let's go for blue, sea blue. So, okay. Now I'm going to pick a bright apple green to brighten up these leaves. They are a little bit too brownish, so let's give them a little bit of brightness. And here you can see the power of glazing, and these Inktense pencils are absolutely great for glazing. I just did some chores in the house, ironing. I was ironing the laundry. Yeah. And the ironing board is here in the Passion for Pencils headquarters. It's a multifunctional room. And I just took a look at all my pencils and paints and pastels and papers and all the art stuff. And I need to reorganize again because it's a mess over here. And that has everything to do with the lack of storage room. I think I need quite a large cast. What is a cast in English? A cupboard? A large piece of furniture, you put it against the wall, there are doors in there, and then you open it, you can put all your stuff in it. Is that a cupboard? Anyway, I need that. I have some IKEA storage things, Kallax, lovely, but not enough for my stuff. Okay, let's take a look at these flowers here, orchids. And I did this with sun yellow, just a tiny bit, not too much, because I want to keep the things very, very light. Okay, let's continue. I took a little break, and as I am looking at everything, I think I'm going to add a touch of red, poppy red, to the beak of this bird. So. It's a little bit cold right now, and I could either put on warmer clothes or turn on the heat here in the house. They are forecasting warm weather for the weekend, and for some reason I thought that the warm weather would already be here today. But it's not the weekend yet, and it's quite clear that that warm weather will not arrive today. Here I have a color called Shiraz, just a touch of it. And then another one, Fuchsia. And a touch of water. These are my Arteza water brushes, and I received them recently from Arteza to review them, but I never do reviews until I have thoroughly worked with the item. So that's why I'm using these brushes now, so I can see how they perform. And they work pretty well for especially Inktense, because they release quite a lot of water. And I like that when it comes to working with Inktense. So, now I would like to add a couple of pink lines here in the petals of these orchids, but I'm not planning on washing them out too much, so this is the wrong one. I need the fuchsia. And this is the nice thing about pencils, you can use them both dry and wet. Let's see what happens if I add a touch of water, but this is very dangerous. Because I do not want to lose the lines completely. Well, that's not bad. Let's add a touch of red here in the middle section. Okay, I see some leaves here, so let's give them a little bit of color. This is apple green. So these Arteza brushes, they are quite good. The only thing is that they are losing their fine tip. And I have Caran d'Ache water brushes who have the same problems. Nice water brushes, but in the end they lose their fine tip. And here I have a Pentel brush, and after lots and lots of work with it, there's still this fine tip. Let's pick a brown tone. This is Baked Earth. So, now let's take a look over here, because something happened. I've been doing some work on this drawing in the evening time, and here we had a slight accident, and here as well. Here I had cut my finger with paper. It's almost healed now, but I needed a band-aid, so I had a band-aid around my finger, and then I washed my hands and the band-aid had gotten wet, and then I started started painting, and then this band-aid touched, the wet band-aid touched the paint, and then, well, everything got smudged. I don't think I can fix this properly, so here I will leave the damage, but here I'm going to try to see if I can slightly get rid of these. Well, I cannot get rid of it, but maybe I can, if I add a little bit more other colors on top of it, maybe the stains will be less visible, because Inktense is a little bit opaque, so who knows. Maybe this is going to work, I'm not sure. This is too yellow. I will add different colors later. Okay, let's take a look at these larger leaves. I think they need a little more color. Here I have field green.